Hi, I'm Leah Huber, Bonterra's chef and organic life aficionada, and I'm going to show you how to cut up your own whole chicken today. So you might be thinking, why would I want to cut up a whole chicken? Why wouldn't I just buy the parts at the grocery store? Well, the reason is that you can buy a better chicken, say a locally raised or a free-range organic chicken, for a higher price and be able to break it down into parts for about the same price that you would buy those individual parts at the grocery store. So you can get better chicken for about the same price, maybe even a little bit less. First, let's look at our tools. You're gonna need a big, heavy cleaver. Just kidding. What you will need though are kitchen shears. And you'll notice that these scissors are a little bit different than regular scissors because kitchen shears come apart like that, so that you can wash them and make sure that you get all the chicken goo off of them, whereas you can't do that with regular scissors. You'll also need a good, sharp, hefty chef's knife, and I'll show you why. The first thing we're gonna do is cut off the legs. And I'm just going to slice the skin, start by slicing the skin with the tip of my knife here, and just keep kind of pulling the leg away a little bit. And then what's nice to do is I like to flip the chicken over and kind of break it apart. Just cut the skin a little bit more here. Break it apart. And you can see how the thigh bone is coming through there. So now I'm just gonna cut the chicken right along that bone. Look at that. See how easy that is? How just fast that came apart? Now, I'm gonna cut apart the thigh bone from the leg bone. And then I'm gonna cut in and just cut right through. And you can tell when you start to cut in, you can see where that ball joint is, and you should be able to just cut right through. If you can't, then move it around and find out where it does connect. When you find out where the joint connects, it'll just be a clean slice through it. So there's one leg, you have a thigh and a drumstick, and we'll do that with the other leg. Cut that skin a little bit. There's that joint. And then I'm just gonna cut right along where that joint came out. There we go. And then I'm gonna cut this in half again, or cut the two pieces apart. And I'm gonna just feel along there and look for that connector, that ball connector. And I found it. And boom, there it is. Splits right in half. Now I'm going to cut off the wings, and I'm going to do principally the same thing, where I'm just popping the wing out and cutting along the joint. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to pop that wing out and cut along the joint. See? Look at that. It's right there. Now I got my wings. Next up, I'm going to cut the backbone, separate the backbone from the breast. So I'm going to use the kitchen shears for the backbone. And see this little line right there? I'm going to cut right along that line and keep the backbone. See, here's the backbone right here, okay? All along the back. So I'm cutting along this little line here, to cut the backbone out. This is the breast right here, so we're gonna have the breast intact. I love kitchen shears. And then I'm gonna cut along this line right here. And I'm gonna cut the backbone out all the way down to the bottom. Now it gets a little tough to cut through those last little bones at the bottom. Just persevere, you'll make it. Now this backbone is a terrific base for stocks. So if you throw this into a stock pot with like some onions and carrots and celery and garlic, you've got an awesome stock. So I'm not gonna throw away this backbone. I won't cook it and eat it, but I'm not gonna throw it away either. So now you've got this beautiful breast. Look at this breast. How much would you pay per pound for this breast? In the stores, right? And they're sold really by half breasts. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this breast in half, so we'll have 2 half breasts, which is the way that you buy them in the store. So this is where you're gonna want a really hefty knife. I like to turn my breast over so I can see the bone here, and then really work at cutting right in the middle of that bone. So I'm going to start at the top, kind of just make a little indentation, and then start to poke into that bone. So it kind of gives me a balance, gives me a place to start. And then you can hear that crack. I'm just going to cut right through. Boom. And then at the end, you might just need to kind of glide it along to cut that skin so you don't tear the skin. All right? And look at that. Now you have 2 bone-in breasts that you would pay an arm and a leg for at the store. So now you've got all of your chicken parts. You've got stock, total bonus stock with this backbone. You've got 2 individual breasts, and you've got 2 thighs. You've got 2 legs, 2 drumsticks, and 2 wings. Check that out. See? That's all there is to cutting up a chicken. See how easy that is? Now go to Organic Life on Bonterra.com to get some awesome recipes to make with that chicken. See ya.